Uh,
Second nature for children is in the house. How you doing, Coach?
Great, man. Great as always. How about yourself?
I'm doing absolutely great. You see, I can finally took the time to put something on that space behind me. I want to thank Ian. That's what I know him as. Said, you know what, Coach, I appreciate you guys coming on and giving the information. And I would have donated, but you didn't have your cash app and information up. So I said, I want to make sure that I put the information up. I'm not putting anything up to entertain, like I said on another video, but information. So this is us right here, Second Nature for Children Inc. is in the house. Family, as you come into the room, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Now, Coach, by now, it seems to me, and this is what I watch. When I go to YouTube or anything else, I'm going to check things out. I'm not going to be entertained, or I'm not going to YouTube to sit back for hour after hour after hour to just listen to a lot of something that won't take me to another level. I'm going to observe what my people are watching and what we're doing. And I'm seeing that, man, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. And tonight I want to talk to you about why Black children in trouble.
Okay.
Because our children are in trouble. And I want to start off just by saying one of the reasons, and it's not the main reason, I'm going to get to the main reason, but my perspective, one of the reasons that our children are in trouble is because they have no foundation. Anything without a base will fall.
True.
A lot of things that we deal with right now today as adults in the Black community, like I always tell you, dealing with the mind, the body, and the soul, something I've been dealing with for over 3 decades and teaching in these three areas, teaching how to connect these three areas together for optimum success. And it's real simple, but we make it hard. If you're overweight or you're obese, then you need to get it together mentally so that you can get in shape. Take care of yourself. If you're struggling with something mentally, you need a mentor or you need someone that you can speak with so they can help you heal mentally. If in 2023 you are still connected to a religion that you're not doing anything to make a difference in not only your life or someone else's life, you are still so far behind. So, can you imagine if someone would have taken you at a very young age within those three areas that most of us are struggling in and instilled in you that taking care of yourself physically is just second nature? It's something that you don't even have to think about. You don't have to think about going to get in shape or I'm gonna start eating better. As you grow and mature, it'll come to you automatically. If you automatically took care of yourself and it was instilled in you as a child to give
Mm.
you a foundation, a base, as an adult, you won't even be struggling with being overweight or being obese or not knowing how to eat. Because if someone would have taken you as a child and put it into you, just like your ABCs or counting from one, two, three, can you imagine the different life you would live now physically if working out or taking care of yourself was just second nature? Can you imagine if someone would have taken you at a very young age and told you how to write your future plan out, how important school is, and have you thinking about your future at the same time, and have you working on that? And if you are dealing with any type of trauma as a child, that you can get that help so you can be healed as you're growing. Can you imagine if someone would have taken you at a young age? and instill how to deal with your mindset and make it through this journey that we're on. Can you imagine if someone would have taken you at a very young age and then force you to go to church, to now you have really gotten to a point where you've been forced so long into something where now when you're at an age where you're able to get out of there, you're just running out of there. And now you're lost because as a child, you was forced into it. And now you're seeing that religion, it didn't help. A lot of times, the people who was taking you to church or the mosque or wherever, and they wanted to put a belief in you. And now we're in a different era with 2023, our youth today, they don't care nothing about your belief because they're more interested in things that they can touch, things that are tangible. So, what if we come together today as a people, knowing that in those three areas, statistically, you can pull it up and see that's where we struggle. If we begin to come together to help our children in those three areas, so as they grow older, they can live a more healthy and productive life. That's a reason Black children are in trouble because we won't come together as a people, as an organization to help them. And another thing, we send them to European organizations. Well, now Second Nature for Children, we're up to date, we're current, and we have an organization that address the Black community, address Black children now. Not knocking any other organization that's trying to do anything for children because I'm with you. But I'm telling you, if you're not teaching a foundation, then you're still behind. We send our children to the place they call the YMCA. The YMCA was founded in what, 1844 in Geneva, Switzerland, European organization. It didn't get here to what, 1851, and what it was up in what, Boston, Mass, when it came here. European, 1851. That lets you know that wasn't designed for us. Boys and Girls Club, 1860, Hartford, Connecticut, European. That wasn't designed for us. What, the Boy Scout, 1908, Great Britain. That wasn't designed for us. 1911, they used to call it the Girls' Guide up in England before they got here in 1912 in Savannah, Georgia. That wasn't designed for us. Big Brother, Big Sister with 1904. It wasn't designed for us. These are all European organizations. So we got to come together so that we can help the children now with a current, a new, a organization that deals with the Black community and our youth today. But I can't do it by myself. You and I just can't do it. You and the board and myself, we can. If the people don't come together to help our children, then our children will always be in trouble. And that's definitely one of the biggest reasons our children in trouble. But I would say even on a larger scale, Coach, our children are in trouble. But we have two different types of children. And we'll talk about it on a later, but we have a systematic child, which is a child that's part of a system. But what we're missing is that unsystematic child. That child that once they leave from school, if they even go to school for that day, they're just in the streets. And those are the ones that we're having a very big problem with. And those are the first children that Second Nature for Children reach out to. So I want everyone to make sure that they go to our Facebook page and our website. And our Facebook page, Second Nature for Children, to make sure that you see the work that we are doing. We are on the ground working day in and day out with our youth. So I'm gonna come back in just a second and share another reason that Black children are in trouble. But Coach, I'll let you give your perspective on that.
I would say, man, they're in trouble because they're dealing with adults who are in trouble. You know, to some degree, some adults don't think they're in trouble. They figure how the way they move on what's priority is normal, so they're not in trouble. You know what I mean? Have we diminished the gap? And I'm talking about from when it comes to education, when it comes to knowing and not knowing, when it comes to what is priority, when it's come rearranging, you know, the shiny things, you can get that later, but you need to get your base, like you say, your foundation. We haven't diminished that gap. We haven't got to collectively to a point where this is what's important. You know, if you have a room, let's say not even 100, let's say 20 kids or young people, the general consensus should be 3, 4, 5 things should be everybody's top 5, like I said, as what's important. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, most of the things gonna be something tangible. Might be some money, a nice whip, what have you. So to some degree, I don't think it's the kids' fault. They're emulating what they see. They're emulating what they see. Now the information is here, but I really believe if they can see it more so practiced or more so done in front of them, not necessarily a direct family member, but even the neighbor or even general consensus, man, this is what people is saying that's important. You talking about going online. If you go online and look now, yesterday, tomorrow, what do you think from your perception, what you see, what really is important? You know what I mean? So I can understand why the kids are, to a large extent, how they are and why they're going for the shiny things. Because the adults are going for the shiny things. Whether it's clothes, whether it's the latest car, whether it's, jewelry, whatever, they're going for the shiny things. But you see some young people are breaking through, some young people are traveling, and I love to see that. Mm-hmm. And they're seeing the world different, and they're like, man, what we talking about is supposed to be important? Nah, that's not important. Not everybody chasing the designer things and all of that. Nah, that's just us here. You know what I mean? So that one aspect I can see younger people traveling and changing the dynamics in terms of what's important. But on a large scale, nah, man, I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it. Yeah.
And to address that, I definitely agree with you. And here comes that problem that has the Black child in trouble: parents.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right there first with the parents, dealing from, I don't care, they put us in different classes. So you got the low income, and you got the middle, and then you got the high or the one above,
well,
or whatever.
Still black though. We still black.
You're still black, and we all are dealing with the same situation and the same problem. You understand? Yeah. So we definitely got to deal with the parent first, and then another thing, Coach, we got to go even all the way back to, we talked about a little bit on another video, where the mother, before she even gets pregnant, and the father, before him and that mother even come together, they have to be very careful on what they're putting in their bodies, how they're treating themselves. So let's take it all the way back before the child even get here, to show you why the Black child, and we talking about, we dealing with the Black community, why the Black child is in trouble, because that mother was smoking, a lot of times are not doing well, not taking care of her body, drinking, not eating well. Then that father was doing a little bit of everything to his body. So once they came together, boom, and created that child. Now, once that child get here, and that child is feeling the effects from that
Mm.
mother not taking care of herself, that father not taking care of himself. Wow, I just want you to think about it. Let's just dig deep and see what's going on with our children. And now they're here. So
Mm.
now they're not being parented a lot of times because that child, especially when they begin to be with mom and dad from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say up to 7 and 8 years old, a lot of the parents are splitting up and they don't realize that when that child at that very young age is used to their parents being together, now there's a split. They don't realize a lot of time that causes trauma to that child. Are you with me?
I got you. I got you.
And then once that child enters into what they call the school system, now here we go. That child goes into the school system. That child is beginning to feel the effects of how mama was doing her body, how dad was doing his body. Now there's a split. So I want you to see at a very young age how this child is experiencing trauma and begin to the low, I would say, the low learning from the mental things that's going on because of how mother and father was doing with whatever they was doing. Now this child is mentally slow in learning. Now they have entered into the school system. So now you got a child that's slow in learning. Parents have split up, and now the school system is one of the #1 institutions for recommending that your child be medicated. So
Mm.
now you got facts, facts.
Mm. Yeah.
So now you got a child that's feeling the effects of how the mother and father did their bodies before they even came together. Now you got a child who's dealing with the mother and father is now not even together. They have split, and that child being pulled back and forth. Now that child has went into a system where their learning may be slow. They dealing with the effects of the mother and the father splitting up. And now that teacher have about 25 to 30 kids in that class. Now that child begins to act out. That teacher needs that child to behave a certain way so he or she can try to teach that class. So now here come the recommendations that we need to do with your child because I need for your child to settle down, in which that child may not need to be medicated. That child may just need some mental help from what it's going through at such a very young age, or that child may need some special attention from home to make sure that their learning is up to par. But that mother and father, their interest is not in that child's education or that child's learning. That's one of the biggest reasons our Black children are in trouble. So now they're medicated.
Mm.
Now they are test dummies because we don't know if this medication is going to work. We don't
We don't
know.
even know the side effects, you know.
We don't know. So we're gonna try. So now you got your child. These are facts. Now you got your child sitting in a classroom, really like a zombie.
Don't forget, Mama get a check for that.
Oh, coach, you
Mama
throw
get a
it out
check
there.
for
Oh,
that.
don't throw, coach.
Compliments a big farmer. Mama get a check.
How could I not mention that?
Yeah.
That now. So watch this right here. And Mama got 2 or 3 children. So here come I have families that I deal with right now that have 2 or 3 children that all are on some type of medication. And so facts, there are 3 or 4 checks that's coming in. Facts.
Mm.
So now not only is the child being pimped by the system, but they're being pimped by their parents.
Parents too. Yeah.
Facts. And
As
you
you
want to go
go
ahead on,
ahead, go
coach.
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead on.
No, as you were talking, man, something came to mind. I didn't go to school here. I went to school abroad, and I know y'all used to have sex education classes. Okay, can you remember them dealing with the emotional aspect of sex? as well as the economic side, the financial side. They just dealt with the biological side. Okay. So that's why I was thinking about when you talking about mom and dad coming together, because that should be the first thing. Then, if you cannot take care of you, you cannot take care of a child. Period. You know what I mean? So that's what I was thinking about. Yep.
And those are facts. And that's why I would like for us to go through the other content that you and I myself has put out, because I address these different things that we shouldn't even be having children at a certain age, at a certain time. Definitely, if we're not ready for the responsibility
Yeah.
of it. And that's what's hurting a lot of us, and hurting the Black child. You understand? So, whoo, our children are in trouble. And until we come together, and we have an organization right here, and we're in Atlanta, we're based out of Atlanta, Second Nature for Children, Inc. All you have to do is hit us up, go to our website, check out our information, go to our Facebook page, Second Nature for Children, and see the work that we're doing. And we need to support this organization. And if you're supporting the organization where you are, if you're doing anything to help yourself and help the children, fine. But I'm talking about if you're not doing nothing to help yourself with your mind, your body, or your soul, you got to wake up, family. We're here. If you need my help, there go my email address right there, snfchildren@gmail.com. If your child need my help dealing with the mind, the body, or the soul, same email address. By now, this information is supposed to be definitely all over the United States. We got to understand, like I said earlier in another video, the algorithm of YouTube and Facebook, when they get certain topics and certain things we talk about, they're not going to move it the way we should move it as a people. Now, I don't care if we had 25 people to come on and view it. If that 25 take heed to what we're saying and subscribe, like, and share to the next 25, simple math, it'll add up. But I do want to thank all my subscribers, everyone that has subscribed, thank you. The comments, thank you. If you shared it, thank you. I definitely want to thank you. I'm having some great conversations with some that are sending me comments, and I'm not understanding why we're not subscribing or why we're not sharing this information when we know it's facts that you know someone who need this information that we put out. No one has asked you for a dime. When I put the Cash App up and just mentioned, that's to support our youth organization. If you don't want to, we still gonna do what we have to do. It just shows even more why we're not progressing as a people and why we don't understand economics, because it takes funding to move an organization. We don't understand it. Yeah, it takes funding to move an organization. But we're not begging for anything. We're just coming on saying that if we're going to do anything as a people, we must come together for self-sufficient, to help ourselves, and to come together as a group if we're going to move forward. Just my heart and my compassion, and Coach Hart and his compassion, it won't help us move the way we need to move as a people. It's going to take us as a group. Y'all Negroes come together for sporting events. Yeah. We always come together when it's time. Here go, I love facts. We always come together as a people to make other groups of people rich.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a video too, because I'm hearing a lot of, and I'm seeing a lot of YouTubes when I go through here, and I'm seeing a lot of views and a lot of subscribers. And I'm saying, when I see a lot of views and I see a lot of subscribers, I will stop for a second because I want to hear what this person is talking about. And coach, here go facts. A lot of times on a higher scale, when I click to see what they're talking about, it's nothing to move us forward as a people.
Hmm.
Facts. And we're gravitating toward that. And then a couple of months later, I click on, they talking about how this person gets scammed everybody. Why are we so, as a people, I got to do it, why are we so easy to be scammed or to be fooled? I got to do a video. And then when someone come out that's legit, we won't even support them. But we'll take a scam, and I guess it's what this is, it the smooth talking? Is it, remember in Living Color, what was it, Damon Wayans would come out of being jail and be speaking on like
Yeah,
this in
yeah.
Philadelphia. And so I, I guess it's the talk that pulls them in. But how can you let someone in 2023 scam you without either investigating or doing something? When you go and scroll through YouTube and you see all these views, and because I'm looking to see where my people are, and I'm like, wow, all these subscribers, sporting events for sports. I said, okay. And listen, I don't care. And I want you to be entertained. But there's a priority that we must do first. And that's why we must take care of ourselves and take care of our community. I want you to have a good time. I seen one guy say he purchased something and say it was the best investment he ever made in his life. I said, damn. Because he bought something. I just did a video on the #1 investment for blacks. That's the
Oh yeah,
investment.
I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's to invest in yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
How can you tell me you went and bought something and it was the best investment you ever made? Wow.
You know, like I said, it comes down to mindset. I mean, his mind, yeah, you know, it's a mindset. So.
And then you know what, Coach? I got to do a video. I was thinking about something today. And I kind of wrote it down a little bit, but I'm gonna do something based on, it's gonna be kind of based on the number, I don't know if I'm gonna call it the #1 day that most blacks come together and don't get nothing done. It's gonna be similar to that. To
Oh,
move us,
okay.
yeah, to move us forward. Yeah, it's gonna be similar to that. But until we come together as a people to help our children are gonna stay in trouble. They in trouble because we're not coming together to help them. They have no foundation. Our adults, I'm reaching out to the adults because, like you said earlier, one of the biggest reasons, our children are in trouble because they can't learn to drive if mom and daddy can't teach them how to drive.
Yeah.
If mom and daddy don't know how to drive, and if don't nobody else help the child, then how the child gonna learn how to drive? Because if the child try to go out and start trying to drive, boy, they're gonna tear up everything before they get it together. They may not even get it together, may not even live through it because of so many accidents. Do you understand what's happening? Yeah, they may not even make it through it.
Yeah.
So you made a great point. Until the parents, first of all, we need to stop having children right now until we get it together. That's first of all. That's #1. That's #1. That's why we need to go back and look at that video I put out, and you and I spoke on it about the solutions. They need to go check that out ASAP. But our children are in trouble, and they're going to stay in trouble. Facts. Until we're able to come together as an organization. And see, that's another thing. When I'm strolling through YouTube, a lot of these folks that they're supporting, they're not even organizations. They're just individual people.
Individual, yeah.
They're not even organizations. They're, in other words, they're not even legit. They can take your money and click off, and you can never hear see from them again. I just want you to see what you
Yeah,
understand. Yeah, you could go to the state of Georgia, pull us up. You can reach me. You can everything. But you got us giving folks money that they can take money and click out, and you never see or hear from them again. Man, we got to wake up. We way behind. As a people, as adults, we're way behind. And that's one of the biggest reasons our children are in trouble. Because as adults, coach, we way behind. And number two, we're not parenting. We're not parenting. We're expecting for someone else to raise our children on a large scale. Parents, we got to start parenting. Don't depend on the system. And what I found out from a lot of conversations that I had with a lot of us, we don't understand the system. Got to do a show on the system. We don't understand the system. What you got, Coach?
as well as the system, as well as the subsystems, because there's a system, but you got a lot of subsystems that depend, the system depend on, But like I said, we'll get into it. I had a piece I read, man, but we probably how much time we got?
We got
I
we got 5 minutes. I wish you would have said something earlier. I jumped into it because I always
I
wanted
mean, I'm
to
gonna just
share.
touch it. We can always jump in it next time around. But I saw a piece. It says America's real drug problem. Potato chips and donuts match cocaine in addictiveness. You know. So because of I'm paraphrase. I read a couple pieces. Americans might be hooked on more than just their daily cup of joe or cup of coffee. According to recent shocking research, the very foods that grace our pantries and refrigerators are as addictive as some illicit drugs. They're talking about 14% of adults, 12% of children are in the grips of ultra processed foods addiction. But it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I mean, it all ties in, man. You just talk about the system. That's part of it. And what's crazy, and like a sidebar, when they started to put pressure on the big tobacco companies, they've diversified their profits and went into the fast food, the processed food, using the same marketing strategy. So they're still making money off of us. You could think of all the sweet stuff, Fruity Loops, whatever the kids like, and some adults. That's where we are, man. So pretty interesting piece. But yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, well, I tell you what, on that piece, was that all you wanted to share on it, or did you have
Yeah,
more?
I mean, that's the basic synopsis of it. It's just like we think about addictiveness when we talk about addiction, we talk about, drugs, hard drugs, heroin, cocaine, all that.
Right.
But basically, the research is basically saying that the addictiveness to the foods is just as devastating. You
Absolutely.
know, you
Absolutely.
know, when you're depressed and all of that, what do? You get something to eat, and you're getting worse. You know what I mean?
Well, I
So
tell you,
yeah,
yeah, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. Keep that because that's real good, and we're gonna do one on addiction. And
okay.
because I've spoke on that definitely before, but I definitely want to do a little bit more because we're struggling with that addiction. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, keep that piece. And man, I know, and I want to make sure that every time before we really kick things off, whatever you have read, I want to make sure that you share it. But I'm glad we kind of held off on that one for some reason because we're going to do something with that one. Because us as a people, we're struggling in that area of addiction, and definitely that food addiction, it has us. So we're gonna come back and we're gonna do something with that right there. So I appreciate, yeah, I appreciate that. We're gonna do something with that. So that was right on time. So we're gonna get ready to get up out of here.
Yeah, okay,
And
next Sunday I'm not gonna be here. So we can still link up, but I'll be overseas. I mean, I'll be overseas.
Coach, where you
next Sunday.
headed to? We got a minute and 30 seconds, Coach.
I'll be in South America, I'll be in Guyana. I'll be in Guyana next Sunday. I leave out Thursday. If I see you before then,
okay.
but we should be able to link up because I should have, good internet service and all that. So we can still do our thing.
Okay, definitely. I hope everything is you well, first of all, safe trip, but I hope that you're able to, because I definitely want to do something with that piece. I want you to go a little deeper with it, and then I'm gonna go a little deeper with a little something, but I definitely want to do and deal with that on our next come together.
Okay, no problem. No
Absolutely.
problem.
So we're gonna get out of here. We got less than a minute. I'll leave it right there. Coach, letting you know that addiction is one of our biggest downfalls, and we're going to come back on another occasion and elaborate a little bit more on it. So, Coach, have a great one. I appreciate you, and we're going to get up out of here.
All right, man. Same here. Take care.
Take care. Yes, sir.